Hi everybody and welcome to Vlada's place. Spring has finally arrived and bees are on the move.
Andrew Morris and his beautiful girlfriend Bree today here with me. They just brought me two old bee boxes which we are cleaning up right now. And we got some bees last night. We got 3 new colonies. And we're gonna try to set them in these boxes and see if they will take and if they will stay. So it's wonderful to meet these 2 young people. Andrew apparently has been in the bee business for many years with his father, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot from him and his dad, and hopefully we can even do a whole episode about the beekeeping. For now, we gotta get back to work.
People are getting more and more aware and concerned about the wellness of bees. And I think it's wonderful that people finally care and they understand how important these little insects are. With that said, I want to show you a couple of ways that you could contribute to growing the bee population in your area. Last night, we received 3 colonies of bees that were removed from various residences. Very often, these bees would be sold to local beekeepers or perhaps located elsewhere.
CO2.
Okay. Oh, really?
They don't like the CO2
Really?
because their natural predator is a black bear. So they don't like the color black or the CO2 produced from the nose. They'll go for that to deter a black bear because that's the only way they can get their stings to be effective.
Oh, good to know. That's something I didn't know. Well, let's see if you and I can find a queen in this hive as well. Okay.
During the removal process, bees go through extreme stress. Beside the physical stress, they also go through stress of leaving their hive behind, leaving the brood, the honey, the pollen, and all the sources that sustain them. And wherever they arrive, they are basically in panic, trying to reorganize the colony, and at the same time, they're very hungry. Many will be lost due to removal process and transportation itself. During the past few years, I've been in touch with a number of local bee removal companies offering to foster these bees. Bees are welcome to stay as long as they want to. And sometimes that's a year or longer. Some bees leave the very next day, but in most cases, colonies stay with us because I provide them with a safe shelter. I provide them initially with the food and with everything else that they would need to thrive as a colony. And as the colony grows, eventually part of the colony will split, so the part of the bees will be released into the wild. Unlike regular beekeepers, I don't harvest honey for sale because I believe that is the ultimate food for bees' health. Often, beekeepers will harvest honey, leave a little bit in a hive, and then they will substitute food with sugar or a special patties. I believe the bees, if they are to thrive, they really need pollen and they need the nectar that they collect themselves.
There she is.
You found her?
She looks like a virgin queen,
Look
the
at
way
you.
she's so skinny.
Look at you. Good eyes.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
She's real small. So the couple reasons she could be so small is she stopped producing for her flight because a fully producing queen is too heavy to fly.
Okay.
And so she might have slimmed out just for the flight to swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's a virgin queen, which means she hasn't been mated yet.
Right. Okay. In any case, let's hope she stays. Let's hope she gets established and she decides to stay.
That's right.
Okay, this you can shake off because we know queen is not there.
All right.
The goal of all this effort is to grow healthy colonies so that eventually they will split and we can release as many colonies into the wild as possible. This colony was so easy to work with because they were exhausted and hungry, but they did manage to sting Andrew. At least one of them did.
Another thing with the stinger is you try not to pinch it out, try and scrape it out because they leave their venom sac with their stinger.
So squeeze more in it.
That's right. Another fun fact is once a bee stings, it loses its stinger and its life because it pulls out its abdomen.
Yeah.
But the queen bee is the only bee that can sting multiple times.
Really?
That's right.
Okay. So many good facts. Okay, I didn't know that either.
And male bees, drone bees, do not have a stinger.
They don't. Oh, so we can handle those.
Yeah.
Okay.
But mentally, it still freaks me out, just the feeling of the buzzing.
It was wonderful to work with Andrew. He's only 23 years old, yet he's so knowledgeable about bees. And I can only hope that he will
This is a
pursue
bigger
his
hive than the
career
last one.
in this
Well, a lot more
wonderful
bees.
cause.
Oh, yeah.
I'm super thankful that Andrew is here with Bree to help me, because doing this alone would have taken me so much longer. And obviously, I don't know enough, so not knowing complicates things even further. So I have extra confidence now having Andrew here telling me what needs to be done and what's okay, what's not.
As we were talking, our bee was walking on the edge of the box, so we wanted to make sure that she goes in between the frames. So luckily, Andrew spotted her and we were able to return her
She will not
back.
run away, will she?
There we go. We'll run her back in.
Thank you. Oh, she almost went out of
Okay, you see her?
outside the
She's
box.
in there.
Yes. I'll move this while you adjust. Rest.
Once settled in, the next step is to make sure bees have initial food, because they are disoriented right now. They don't know where the food sources are, so they will need a jump start. And for that, Andrew is telling me that we should just take some of this syrup, sprinkle around to give them that initial boost. I have also prepared a little mixture of sugar, and I will also give them some of these patties, which are normally added to hives during the winter time when there's no food for bees at all. We want to make sure that these bees get some nourishment right away. So I'm taking Andrew's advice, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of thick sugar water on frames, and he said that it's okay to put some directly in a box. So this will just give them enough energy to settle in, reorganize, to find the food source, which you see here we're leaving in this feeder on the side. We have more syrup for them, and hopefully that will be enough to get them organized again and to figure out where they're at and where the food sources are, so they can start bringing the nectar in and reestablishing the colony and the hive. I don't want to drag this video too much longer. I think you have the idea of what we are trying to do here and what sort of beekeeping this is. So basically, we're creating a sanctuary where we can foster bees, doing the bee removal, in hope to reestablish the colonies and eventually release additional bees into a wild. If you would like to do something like this, you certainly can do this on your own. If you don't know how, or you don't have time for things like this, you could support us. So I'm gonna attach a little fundraiser to this video. And any of you, if you guys want to get involved and you want to help us, because I do need funds for the hives, for the feed, for there are quite a few things that are involved with all of this, and also manpower. I would like to eventually hire people to come and help me, because I can only do so much on my own. In fact, I would love to be able to pay Andrew to come and help me tend to these hives. So if you guys want to get involved, you can just make a little donation and send us some funds, and we would use that money. 100% of that money will go towards bees. Ultimately, I would love if a lot of you out there would do the same thing and start these bee nurseries, if you will, because this way we could help recuperate the bee population quickly. Okay, we got this hive all taken care of, and we're just gonna cover them, and then we're gonna go visit third one. So this is the second colony that we received last night. So the first one is all taken care of. This is the second one, and now we're gonna go and visit and see what we can do with the third one. Thank you all so much for watching, and especially thank you for listening this long video. I hope you guys will get involved in your area, and again, if you can't, support us so that we can bring more bees into our
yeah, very much.
sanctuary, so that we can eventually release more bees into the wild. Sending you lots of love, and until the next video, if you have a minute, check out some other projects I'm currently working on under vladav.com.